We know a lot of things about the late England monarch, Queen Elizabeth II, like all her fancy tiaras and jewellery. However, something that a lot of people don't know is that the Queen was very tech-savvy, and she was often called Britain's first high-tech monarch. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the life of the Queen and how she's embraced technology since the early 90s. Hello and welcome to Tech Stack, your #1 stop for all the latest tech reviews. Be sure to like, share and subscribe, and if you have any thoughts or comments, let us know down below. Now let's get into it. The reign of Britain's longest reigning monarch, Queen Elizabeth Alexandra Mary Windsor, has come to an end with her death. She died at 96. Queen Elizabeth II oversaw the monarchy's transformation from an austere, closed-off institution into one that is more open to the public, both in person and through the use of technology, during her 70 years as the monarch of the United Kingdom. She was an early adopter of the internet and had the first ever televised coronation in 1953. However, it's said that she dictated her emails rather than writing them herself. The world first fell in love with email in the late 1990s. However, the world was a little late because Queen Elizabeth II had been using email for decades. The Queen wrote her first email in 1976 at a celebration of the launch of an early internet network in England, just years after the email was created as a tool for academics to communicate within institutions. She did so 2 decades ahead of most of the rest of the globe. In 1976, Peter Kerseton, a British computer expert, assisted the Queen in creating and setting up her account. Many people believe he was the first to introduce her to the internet. Have you ever wondered what the Queen's username was? It was HME2. Any ideas what that means? It's an abbreviation for Her Majesty Elizabeth II. It made sense because the Queen experienced significant technical, social and scientific change throughout the course of her 9 decades of existence, including her 70 years as monarch. She became the adored head of state for a tumultuous empire because she was the British monarch with the longest reign. Throughout her long life, she was an outspoken promoter of science and technology. During her lifetime, she witnessed several groundbreaking technological innovations, including color television, smartphones, social media, and blockchain. While her life was entrenched in tradition, she did an excellent job of keeping up with the latest technical breakthroughs during her reign. There is a reason she is regarded as Britain's first high-tech monarch. Princess Elizabeth Alexandra Mary, born in 1926, was not born to the throne. That changed in 1936 when her paternal uncle Edward VII abdicated and her father George VI succeeded him as king. The 10-year-old was suddenly heir apparent. Her royal responsibilities didn't stop Elizabeth from developing a keen interest in technology. The princess pleaded with her father to let her fight for the nation during World War II. Finally, he permitted her to join the Women's Auxiliary Territorial Service, the female division of the British Army, where she received driving and car mechanic training. It was a trailblazing decision because not only was she the first person in her family to join the military, but the sight of a woman disassembling cars and changing tires heralded a long-lasting shift in social and gender roles. After her father died in 1952, Elizabeth ascended to the throne. Elizabeth, who was now a wife and mother, decided to rule under her own first name. It linked her to Elizabeth I, whose reign during the Renaissance is now regarded as the pinnacle of science and technology. From the onset, her own reign was contemporary. The new Queen's birth had roughly coincided with the invention of television, so while preparing for her coronation, the new Queen broke with precedent and permitted the BBC to broadcast the occasion live on television. The broadcast, which was watched by more than 20 million people worldwide, is credited with launching TV into the mainstream. Elizabeth's reign inspired other emerging technology. For instance, she ascended to prominence as the atomic era gained momentum, having an impact on geopolitics and advancing science. Cold War tensions grew as a result of nuclear fears, and the UK conducted atomic weapons tests in the 1950s. In exchange for hosting American nuclear weapons, the United Kingdom formed an alliance with the United States and earned the nickname America's unsinkable aircraft carrier. Elizabeth helped introduce the nation to these nuclear advances. She flipped the switch start the world's first full-scale nuclear power plant, Calder Hall, in 1956, to the cheers of onlookers. However, the technique was fraught with danger. The following year, a reactor at a nearby nuclear power facility, Windscale, caught fire. It was the biggest nuclear disaster in British history. She was passionate about technology and had interests outside emailing. In 1997, she launched the royal family's website's initial interaction. In actuality, this occurred before the major UK media outlets were online by a number of years. In 2007, the Queen opened a YouTube channel for the royal family 10 years after creating the website. Currently, 1.09 million people worldwide are subscribers to the channel. It may come as a surprise, but the Queen was no stranger to social media. She kept up royal family-related accounts on Twitter and Instagram. In 2014, the Queen tweeted using @BritishMonarchy Twitter account in front of a live audience. She had tweeted through the British Monarchy Twitter account, which has now been renamed the Royal Family. So what did she tweet? Her tweet read, "It's a pleasure to open the Information Age exhibition today at Science Museum, and I hope people will enjoy visiting. Elizabeth R." And there's more. The Queen was always current on the most recent technological developments. She was said to be a huge lover of tablets after her grandsons William and Harry first introduced her to them. The speed of innovation has undoubtedly outrun the establishment, born into as someone who was raised in a time when computers were the size of rooms. She also regularly used Zoom meetings during the pandemic days. Elizabeth also once used Instagram to share a picture of a letter computer pioneer Charles Babbage wrote to her great-great-grandfather in 1843, in addition to delivering one of her customary Christmas Day messages in 3D. In recent years, she has embraced a more environmentally friendly message, endorsing an initiative that encourages forest conservation across the Commonwealth and even addressing plastic use on royal estates after working on a documentary about her forests with David Attenborough, the British naturalist whom she knighted twice. The death of the most enduring monarch in British history, who ruled for 70 years and 127 days, marks the end of the Elizabethan era in the country. But in actuality, the monarchy's prolonged survival in the UK has long been fiercely debated. The Queen's leadership bridged old and new, bringing the monarchy into a future that would have appeared unthinkable at the start of her reign. Although the monarchy she represented was 1500 years old, the most recent Elizabethan era will be recognized for having brought significant advancements in technology, society and science. What do you think about the Queen and her inclination to tech? Let us know your thoughts down in the comment section. Also be sure to like, share, subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on any of our future videos.